Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Winter Tales from Stamperia. Last time we finished the pages I had originally planned, for the most part, but then I decided at the last minute to add another page. So we're going to do those pages, and they're all very simple, so we'll get those knocked out and then go from there. This is a design project for Scrap and Create. You can get all your supplies there. There'll be a link down below. There will be a link down below for the cutting guide for this project as well. It's free. Just click on it. Go get it. And that is it. Let's keep going. So this page here, nothing is glued down, is the former page 7, now page 9, because we've added. So this has this page on the back, which we did last time. Okay. So let me pull these things off to the side. Okay. You can maybe see a little bit off camera. I've got a whole bunch of my die cuts and wooden shapes that I had pulled out and just put over here to work with. Now, I know we've worked with this paper a lot, but it's perfect for this, so I'm using it again. And this is from the 12 by 12. So let's just put this down. Center that very well. Go ahead and do that. Making sure it's right side up. A little late, but okay. Some seepage. There. Okay. So then I have the collectibles. You'll remember if you've been watching, and pull these over. Okay. So these things are from the chipboards, these flowers, this little sign. These two pieces are from the collectibles, and I fussy cut them out. And I am just going to stack these like that. Okay. And for this, so you can see, I fussy cut that with a craft knife. I did leave the backgrounds in on these two. I think it won't show too badly up there. I just think it might be too fragile to cut them out. Although I am going to glue them down. Maybe I can cut a little bit out. Okay, so just cut a little bit more of that out. And what I had done, let me tell you, and it actually made doing that a little trickier, is after I cut out all this, these pieces are so thin, even though I'm going to glue them down, I knew they would be fragile. So I turned it over and I took some art glitter glue, and actually I squeezed it onto a scrap and dipped my finger in it and then brushed it over all of these little thin spots and just let it dry, and that gave these a little bit extra strength. Okay, and then I didn't bother with cutting too much there because it's going to be covered here. So what I'm going to do is put these down like this, and then I am going to add this little sign and these flowers here and this flower up here. And these are all from the two die cut sets. I have both. Oh, I also darken the edge just around the sled on this. All right, so I think I am good. Now I am going to, with the skates, I'm just going to do this edge here and along the bottom. Okay. Because this is going to be like a puck spot, tuck spot kind of thing. Okay. And I did not put any under that flower. I may go back and add it. I wasn't sure if I wanted it there or not. There. All right. And then the sled, I'm going to do basically all, everything that's on top of the boots. So the whole front part of the sled, which basically up to about his foot, and then just around to the bottom here. And I think I'll do up along here as well. So it'll make a narrower tuck, but it'll be a little more secure, I think. Okay. All right, so that's where I've got glue for now. All along here, along the bottom, and up to there. And if we need to add more, we will add more. Okay, and then this flower here, I'm just going to put right there. It's basically echoing what's on the paper. And just make sure you only put glue, and I'm going to do it this way, on the actual die cut or fussy cut. Otherwise you'll end up gluing it to the background when you don't want to. Okay, just like that. So it's still, you'll still be able to, I don't have a scrap, but we'll still be able to tuck things in there. Okay, and then I'm going to put this one right there. Sorry, I have airplanes going over. It's Saturday morning, and I live fairly close to the ocean, and if you've been to the beach, the planes go. I'm just like unable to speak at the moment. The planes that trail the ads, that's probably what they are. All right, so I'm just going to put this a little glue here. And put that there. That, and then this one. Try to decide if I want to put it in that direction. No, this way. But as you can see, it's got to be up a little bit because it's now sitting on top of that. So I just need to put a little something on this side to hold it up. That's the same height. And I think just a little piece of chipboard will do. So let me grab a scrap and just cut myself a tiny piece. Okay, and I really just need a little tiny bit, so I'm just going to cut a triangle off this corner here. That there. Okay. There, that'll do. And then I did get out real flowers, but I don't think I want any on here, but we may have some on the facing page. Deciding exactly how I want to do that. So really I just need glue here and on the chipboard that we just put down. Okay, and then I need, hold on. Grab a scrap and see how we are. Okay, so we'll be okay. We just won't be able to put anything super wide in here, but that's okay. Gets more for looks, really. Okay, you don't even have to put anything in there. You just leave it. You can even glue it down if you don't want to put anything in it. Okay, so that's that one. Now, the page that's going to be facing it, let me grab that. Okay, so this is the page that had page 8, now page 10. This is the new page that we're making, and this is going to face this page. So what I was kind of going for a little bit, I think that's going to be further down, and maybe some real flowers. So this is the window looking out, and this is the outside scene. And as you can see, it's got that same kind of background. That's why I used this. So I'm going to use this piece here. This is from the 8x8. I wanted it to look a little wallpapery. And hang on, I just want to grab the pieces from the other side because they're sliding around. We'll do that in a minute. Okay. All right, so now you've seen that. I can put that to the side. And let's put this down. And this is just going to be either decorative in itself, no room for a picture, or you could put that window down as a tuck spot. I am not going to. I think I have enough room. I am just going to glue the whole window down. And it is from the die cuts. So I am going to put this down so it's just sort of at the top of this, I think. So it looks, wallpaperish. And then I'm thinking that there may be a little higher. No, I kind of like it low, so maybe just above that. And it's slightly bowed, which is kind of why I was going to lay it flat when I put it down. But now I'm thinking I might just do it on 3. I'm not going to. I'm going to glue the whole thing down because you could do 3 sides and then put something in. But I just can't think of what I would want to put in there. But if you know you have something long and skinny that you might want to put in there. I don't know why it matters. I'll be selling this album, I'm sure. But I am going to glue it all down. And the only reason I sell my albums, not because I don't love them, I do. I just don't have room to keep all the albums that I make. And if I want to make more, I have to sell the ones I have. Plus, they're not cheap to make, so as you know. So that way I get a little extra money to make something else. I'm just going to hold that over. I do not know what I have got on this. That all of a sudden, it is coming off on my stuff. Okay, there. And then I'm thinking this here, and I pull out these, and I had this little white flower, which I don't even know where it came from, but it was on my desk. I think I have a whole package of them. I think we definitely want to stay with white. I think that cream one is too cream. Plus, I've mentioned, I've used these before. They're ancient, and getting them off of this thing is not easy. I'm not even going to deal with that. I think these are too big. Because it competes with that, and I quite like that. So I think I'm just going to stick with these two right here. I think that's all it needs, and we'll save some of these for the cover maybe. All right, so that is going to be fine there. I need to be cautious because, let me think. No, this is going to be the spine, so I'm fine with this. Not, if it was too close to the spine, it would cause me problems, but it's not. This is the spine side. This was one of the wooden shapes, by the way. Really cute. And I'm putting it at a slight angle rather than straight up and down, but of course you can put it however you like. And just giving it a good squeeze because, you know, it's partly on here and that's lifting it a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. Whoop. Okay, leave that. And then this one, this is a paper flower, so it should be fine with our glitter glue. Let's put that right there. And then this one right up here. And this one I'm going to be careful, it's got a stem. I just want to bend it down. There we go. I think this one, I know it came from Scrap and Create. If I can find it, I will include it in my links. It was a package that had a lot of white flowers in all different sizes, as I recall, or it might have been just a packet of little tiny white flowers. I forget, I worked on a project and I remember that I needed little small flowers. I can't remember which one it was now, but and that's where it came from, I'm pretty sure. That is pretty. Okay. Now, the other side, which I probably should have done first, because it's not going to be flat right now, is we're going to use this for the background. And then, remember this piece that had the horse's head down here? So I just trimmed that off, and I made a pocket, and I am going to put a background down and then float the pocket on top. Checking up and down, and I'm just gonna have to hold this while I burnish it. Definitely do this page first. I just wasn't thinking. Okay, there. And let's close this. All right, and the pocket is 4 3/4 by 5 1/4. And this square is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I feel like I may need to trim it down a little. Oh, sorry. Because I didn't really leave a reveal on my measurements, but that's okay. I'll figure that out in a minute. Okay. So you're going to score at a 1/2 inch, at a 1/2 inch. This is the 5 1/4 inch side across the top, so 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here. Turn it over, and a 1/2 inch there. Okay. And yeah, I really did not leave myself much room. So I am going to trim just 1/8 of an inch off the top and one side, I think. Yeah, that's going to be better. Okay. And let's go ahead and trim our corners. I will go ahead and mat this at the top. Good. Trying to be neat. Okay. All right. And so then I'm just gonna float this near the bottom so that we've got about 1/4 inch on each side and 1/4 inch at the bottom. And I'm gonna eyeball that. Good. So I think I have a little less at the bottom, but that's fine. I kind of want to leave room for the top. Okay, there we go. So this goes there. No, there, there, there. Okay. Now, the last thing that we have to do is page 3, right here. We're going to do our pop-up, not pop-up, but our tent card. So, let's set that aside. So for this, we have a piece 3.5 by 5.5 and a piece 3.5 by 6. Okay, the piece that is 3.5 by 6, I want to do it this way. There, and score 1/2 inch. And tape. We need to score this again. I wasn't thinking. Okay. 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 So this is going to go here, okay, and lift up. But in order to make our tent, we need to score this again. So let me grab that. I should have scored them together. All right. So this is the distance from here to the other score line is 5.5 inches. Half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So that's where we need to make the other score. So now that sort of meets up with that, okay? And we're not going to do anything else, just score it. Okay, and then let me trim our corners. Okay, I'm just going to put that side down. And we're going to just line up the top corner. So the way this works is we'll have a mat here and a mat here, and then we'll have full mat here and a half, a mat here and a mat here. And then this just lifts up like that. And then we'll have a wooden shape of some sort to hold it. And elements on the front, which we've done this before, but just in case you haven't seen it. So I need to pick out, it doesn't matter too much what's on the front because we're going to add a lot of stuff to the front, so it'll be covered. So I need to pick for here and here. And then on the inside, we have this spot here, which is a good spot for a smaller photo, and then here and here. So let me go ahead and pick those mats, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have cut out my mats. And I set these to a side, those are for the outside. And I had a scrap that had, it kind of went like that. And I wanted, so I just cut right between where it said winter and tails, and then cut my two pieces to size, and they are 2 5/8 by 3 3/8. And then this one is from the 8 by 8, and I did the same thing. I cut a strip that was the right width, and then I just cut to get the design. And then this is from a scrap, and it is 5 3/8 by 3 3/8. Okay. This way, so it says winter tails. Okay, and then this one goes here, like that. And I remembered while I was getting my mats, I have another page that I have to show you as well that we haven't quite finished. Oh boy, I didn't put that down straight at all. There we go. I think, or did we do it? I'm trying to remember. Or maybe we did do it. No, we didn't. Sorry, I'm like drawing a blank. Because I'm thinking, I remember cutting out pieces for it, but I don't remember putting them together. Whoops. So I'm pretty sure we haven't done it. Okay, go. Okay, so this is going to come up like this. And then, like I said, we'll have probably this big heart, a wooden shape of some kind to hold it up. And maybe we'll even stack these hearts, although that's pretty high. So let's close. And I'm not putting a closure of any kind on this. The weight of the things we're going to put on here should hold it, being the operative word. Okay, and I have no idea what I'm going to put on it. I do have lots of flowers. Let me get this out of the way. Hang on. Just so I can see. I don't have everything out that I have. We also had this beautiful wooden shape that's a window, which I was kind of thinking, but it's so large. I think if we use it, we're not going to have a lot of other things that we can do, but it really does look very nice. So that's a thought. The door's too big. We have this window, which is too big. We have this, but we already used it in the wooden shape. We have this, which is much smaller, but I don't like it as much. We have that. So far I'm liking this the best, but I do have other things that I don't have out. So hang on. What did I do with them? Here they are. We have a lot of these little plaques. We have this deer, which is awesome, but he's too big, and I think I might use him on the cover. I haven't decided. Then we have these circles. We have lots of wreaths. There's another little plaque. I had these out before and I put them away just to save myself room. And wreaths. These are all wreaths. I think those are all wreaths. And little heart. Okay. So we could use something like that. Be very simple. We could add flowers, which is actually very pretty. Kind of like that, actually. Or we have the one with the bird, which would introduce a little bit of color. Here's another one with a little cottage on it, which I like a lot. So we'll put that there. The bird, I think, is a no-go. But the deer is beautiful. That. I like that, but not as well as those. Same, I like those better. This has got like a whole little village going on, but I still like those better. Yeah, okay, so far I like these circles. I like this window. I think I like the circles better than the window, so we're going to eliminate the window. And of the three circles, we have that one, that one. I like that one the best. Okay. So if we use this, and it can overlap, you know, it can go like that. We could add some flowers. I don't think I want to add red here. We are going to use red in another spot, but we could add pink. Like that. Is there a plaque that we would maybe want to add? Can't remember what did we use on the other one. It said believe in magic, right? Just want to make sure it is the same one again. So we could do something kind of like that. And we could add one of these. I'm just playing with stuff here. thinking something like that, but I think those would need to be way further under so they don't stick out quite so much. All right, so if we did that, can I lift this? Hang on. I can. The only thing, if I do that, is all the decorations down low, you're not getting the real pop-up effect. So I wonder if we put Let It Snow up there. Okay, hang on. I'm just going to pull these off just to give me an idea. So that looks like that. And then if we put another flower there, maybe just the flower, and leave the Let It Snow be further down. Okay, now we're starting to get some dimension. The only other pink poinsettia I have is really large, and I might want it on the cover, although maybe not. Put this behind that. That's pretty cool. Now we're really getting some dimension out of it. And we can even hang it off that way a little and off that way, and I think I'll turn it. It's more like that. Nope. I think it's supposed to go like that. Then we could have Let It Snow be down lower. We might not even need that. Those. Okay, I'm liking where this is going. These are a maybe. Might use some of these little white ones instead. Looking at this, I don't like the way that kind of shoots out. So, but I don't see any way to trim it and not have it look bad. And I don't think anybody else probably would care. Okay, so I just trimmed a little bit there to see how it looks, and it looks okay. So I'm thinking I may trim that a little bit. Did that. Okay, I'm gonna like that better, I'm sure. Okay, let me get some of these off to the side, and let me put these away for the moment, because I know I'm done with those, and I know I'm done with these for the moment, and I don't think I'm gonna need any of these wreaths for the moment. Okay, just trying to give myself some room. I'm keeping all these in this zipper pouch. Okay. All right. So we're going to put this there, and we're going to put this on top of it. And then I'm going to put this on top of those. And then we've got our flower and our plaque and maybe some other things, but so far I think we can start. Now, you do not want to glue anything above this mat. Nothing up here, okay? Otherwise it won't stand up. See what I'm saying? Okay. So get an eyeball view of where you don't want your glue to go above, and proceed. Need to order some undo. Okay. So I'm going to put that right about there. I think. Do I want that higher? Nope. I think I like that. And put my glue. Just like that. Looking good. Okay. And then this is going to be the next one. This has that same thing, but I think if I just turn it, it won't bother me. It was just bothering me because it was sticking off. Okay. And then if we put that there. I want that in a little bit. And this one you can glue all over if you want, but it is going to be kind of wonky because it's going to be sitting on top of something else. So I think I'm only going to glue it where it's actually on top of this piece here. There we go. And then we're going to add this piece here, and I need to cut this stem off. I've just been leaving it until it was ready. And I think I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this. And I don't think I'm going to use those pine cones. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Just like that. I'm just putting the glue really on this stem down here, a little bit on this leaf, I think. Okay. And I feel like I might want another little white flower, small one, or two. Because we're going to have that there. Well, I kind of like that, but I still need one more. Let me see. Well, we could use a chipboard one, or a die cut. Or maybe one with a little pink. Yeah, that, well, I don't know, because I still feel like if I use that, I need another real flower. So hang on. Okay. I could not find any more of the teeny tiny white ones, but I have these. These are from Scrap and Create. They're Petaloo. And there are a couple in here that are perfect, I think. Just want to be careful they don't look like they're in a perfect little line across the bottom, which is what I was getting there. I put that one there, and maybe just use the other one of these. Put this one underneath. Or maybe I do want to use one of these. I didn't put it down ahead of time though, so that would be an issue. I think I'm going to cut this so that I have just a little bit. And if I put that there and that up there and that there, what do you think? I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, even though this is paper and so is where it's going. It's just Fabri-Tac has a thicker texture, and since it's going to sit on top of some other things, I think it'll help it stick. I'll give it a good dollop. And I'm going to tuck it up under there, just to give us just a little bit of something right there. And you know what I think I might do? Oops. Because that is sitting on top of a lot of stuff, I'm going to cut a teeny tiny little piece. And grab my tweezers. And we will just stick this underneath that, just to give it a little support. And actually, I can use art glitter glue for that. Okay, and I am just gonna put that up underneath there. There. Okay. That, and then this one is going to go about here. Okay, and then we're going to tuck this right in under here. Oops. Oh, put way too much glue. Lots of seepage. Yikes. Okay. All right, that is going to look really nice. Super happy with that. However, I do need to get rid of some of that extra glue. There we go. Okay, so before we add our stop, which I think is going to be this heart, I'm just going to let everything dry. So let's set that aside over there. And let's pull back that one page that I still have to do. Okay, so we have this, that card we just made is going here, this, and then we have to do this page. Okay, so these are going to be facing each other. And what I did with this one is I matted it with that same paper, which seems to be lasting me forever. I fussy cut this. I need to add a little more fussy cutting to it. And I fussy cut this. And these are both from the Collectibles. Okay. And we're going to put these down here. Okay. There's that. And I think this one is pretty well the way I want it. Maybe a little bit here. Right, so I want it to look sort of like the church is off in the distance and the flowers are to the front. And what I'm going to do is glue the church down completely, but glue this down only partially so you could tuck something into it. Okay, so I'm getting an idea where I want, you know what? I'm just going to make myself a mark because this particular one I want to make sure I get the height right. And it is going to be covered, so I don't have to be too worried about it. Okay, so of course I can't even see the mark I just made. There it is, okay. All right, so I'm going to fully glue this down. And I'm just going to spread this a little bit. You want to make sure you get glue on this all the way to the points because it is going to be, you know, things are going to be going over it into the tuck spot. So, you know, you don't want them to catch on anything. Okay. And then we have this piece that is going to go here. And I'm just wondering if I want to trim a little off of this side. I think I do. Okay. Do it a little bit more rounded like that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to run glue from about here down and across to about here. And I think that's pretty good. I'm just trying to decide if I need more glue, but we can always add it if we do. Okay, so then that is going here. So this picks up the red that's in this church. I think it looks nice. Okay, and I may add, you know, I'm wondering if we want to add just a few little extras. Why not? That one's obviously far too large. We've got several of these. And that's the spine, so it's fine if I add things over here and they can hang off a little bit and it's fine. I think just the one. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to add that. Again, this is from the die cuts. Okay, that looks good. Okay. We are looking good. Okay, so then let's go back to this one. So we need to add our card. Right, so the card is just going to be centered on the page like that. And I'm just going to use glue. And you could do this, you know, just around the edge and tuck something behind it if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I think we have plenty of tuck spots. Okay. Let's lift that up. And okay, that's good. And then we need our stop. And like I said, I think I'm just going to use this wooden heart, which I think is going to be just right. The other option, I have this little wooden birdhouse, but I think it detracts. I just think the heart is going to be my best bet. And that's actually a good spot. So that is right about, let me give you a measurement. I mean, you'll want to play with yours, but mine is just about an inch up from the bottom of the card. Okay. Spread the glue a little bit. I'll just measure again, make sure I get it in about the right place. A little bit. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so let me tip it so you can see it, and then here from the side. Okay. All right, we are going to have to use, I think, a pretty big spine just to allow for all the bulk we're going to have between these pages. Okay. Especially that one. So we're going to have 5 pages. And what I may do, because that's the only one that really has a lot of bulk and is going to need a lot of room, is make my hinge uneven. In other words, have the normal spacing between all the pages except this one, and have extra for that one. Okay. Pages are done. I am going to stop here, and we will continue next time. I will have my cover made. If you don't know how to make a cover, I have a video. I have a whole playlist called Construction Basics. You'll find it in there. I'll try to remember to link it. Measurements are in the cutting guide. So go ahead and make your cover. I will have decided on the hinge, so the information for that will be in the cutting guide, but also probably show you in the next video my finished hinge, or at least my process for making the hinge, because I haven't 100% decided, because I added so much bulk here. What I'm going to do, the other thing that I might do, and that would probably save us a lot of trouble, oh, I can't, wait, hang on, is if I move this piece to the front, I may do that. I may swap these. I may put this piece to the front. It'll look nice as something that you see when you open the book, and it'll save us having that bulk between the pages. So probably that's what I'm going to do. You will know by now because you will have seen the walkthrough. So, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I will see you next time. We will continue on with our project. Don't forget to visit Scrap and Create to purchase your supplies. I will have a link down below. Link to the cutting guide down below. I have a discount code for this glass mat, and I think I have my Uber code is down there, and my Home Chef code is down there, and my Amazon affiliate shopping list link is down there. Any of those things help me, and I think they'd be good for you too. So I will see you next time, and we'll continue on. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.